Today is the day. Polls in Maryland are packed as voting continues for midterm elections. There are still about 4 hours left to cast your ballot.
There are a few races being closely watched in Maryland. Of course, the governor's race and the battle for Baltimore County Executive.
WJZ has a team of reporters covering the election. Devin Barlotta has more on voter turnout. Joy Burnett is following the Democratic candidate for governor, Ben Jealous. Let's start, though, with political reporter Pat Warren with more from Governor Hogan's camp. Pat.
That's right. As you know, Governor Hogan voted early last week, but he made an early morning stop today at the famous Chicken Ruth's Deli in Annapolis, where he got a bite to eat and offered a bit of wisdom as to how to turn the blue state red again. Governor Hogan, starting with the most important meal of the day, also had some advice to steer voters through Election Day.
I just say don't take anything for granted, because the polls don't really mean much. It's about who shows up and actually votes, and so we're telling them to not act like we're 20 points up, act like we're 20 points down.
Hogan has maintained a comfortable lead in those polls despite the 2-to-1 ratio of Democrats to Republicans in the state. In fact, he says what he hears from Democrat voters is encouraging.
People seem to be happy with the direction that the state is moving in, and they don't want to change course.
In 2014, Larry Hogan failed to gain traction in Baltimore. This year, he put a campaign headquarters here in Station North, and he's also featuring Democrats in his campaign ads.
I hear over and over again every single day, I'm a lifelong Democrat. I've never voted for a Republican before, but I'm voting for you.
And although he appeared to be maintaining an even tone this morning, Hogan says he's ready for a victory celebration tonight.
Hopefully it's going to be very exciting. We're going to be at the Westin Hotel here in Annapolis, which is where we had our victory party 4 years ago when we pulled off the biggest surprise political upset in the country. And today we're hoping to make history again in the same place.
One of those exciting races that will be largely determined by voter turnout. Back to you.
That's right, voter turnout. Well, the Ben Jealous campaign, just like the governor's, is trying to get extra votes in these final hours. WJZ is live in Randallstown. Joy Burnett has more from the Jealous camp. Joy?
Well, Denise, Ben Jealous started out in Anne Arundel County this morning, went over to Prince George's, Montgomery, and then is expected back here in Baltimore County. He really is logging in those miles for the final votes.
What are we going to do right now?
Maryland's Democratic candidate for governor, Ben Jealous, had his kids by his side as he cast his ballot.
That's good. I mean, if you look inside, the voting booth is full. Folks are in line. What we're hearing from Baltimore City, down here to Montgomery County, all across the state, is that folks are enthusiastic to vote.
Some of those voters are educators who have the Baltimore City school system on their minds.
So I'm a retired special education teacher, and I understand that he is trying to do more for the public school system.
I think Ben Jealous has his priorities in the right spot.
The former president of the NAACP is competing for votes against a governor with high approval ratings.
Mr. Jealous has got great credentials, and I think if we didn't have a good governor right now, he would be a good governor.
But on this final stretch, this isn't just about his opponent, Governor Larry Hogan. Jealous wants to closely tie local issues to national politics.
What better way to send a message to Donald Trump and his White House than to send a civil rights leader to be your next governor?
Ben Jealous is expected here in Randallstown around 5 this afternoon. Then he's supposed to hit 2 more polling locations before the polls close at 8. Both candidates told us yesterday that they're not taking anything for granted, and I think we're seeing that today. Live in Randallstown, Joy Burnett for WJZ.